Welcome to Haunt Weekly.
Hello everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this is Haunt Weekly, a weekly podcast about the haunted attraction industry, covering everything from big mega haunts to tiny home haunts to your haunted trails, your haunted hay rides. We're the cast for haunt actors, owners, aficionados, and everyone in between. I'm working on this intro.
Yeah, I can tell. It's getting longer.
Shut up. It's getting better.
Oh, okay.
That's what that was. It was getting better. Not that
Ah,
you would know. Yeah.
apparently not.
Yeah. Okay. How are you doing, Crystal? We have a great gangbusters episode this week. I'm excited about this one.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. We're still both recovering a little bit from our
if you hear
cold.
some,
but-
that's the cold talking.
Yes, that's lovely. We should put that in a sick room in a haunted house.
Yes, we should. We should just record this and then use it later. That's a great idea.
Luckily you just did.
Oh yeah, true. We can separate that out then. But yes, this week it's time to do the news.
News?
News. The newsiest news of the haunted attraction. News.
Yes.
You snooze, you news. You,
I don't think that's the way that goes.
I don't think so either, actually. Well, we do have a lot of news to go over this particular episode. It's
Yes.
the 8th episode. Every 4 episodes we attempt to do some news. I can't promise this will be our regular cycle, but we will
Right.
attempt. But this week, we have a very important story to cover in great detail.
Woo.
Ooh. It is HauNTcon.
Right. HauNTcon is a big event in our industry.
Yes.
It's headed up by Leonard Pickle.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's basically one of the 2 major haunted attraction conventions.
Right. There's a lot of smaller regional ones.
Yes. Like
For
Midwest
different
does
areas.
one. And,
Exactly.
I think there's one in the Southeast too. There's a couple others.
There's
I
a
know
couple
of.
for home haunters too.
Yeah, true. But yeah, this is one of the 2 big national ones.
Right. Transworld being the
The
other,
other
which
one.
is
And
in a few months.
Fortunately, just to give a warning, we won't be going to Transworld.
Yeah, we wanted to,
We
but
really
it's
wanted
just
to.
not going to work out with our schedules this
Yeah,
year.
long story short, I have an obligation. I have to speak at South by Southwest this year. And though the dates don't technically overlap, it's just too much together for me. I'm sorry, guys.
Right.
It's me. It's my fault. Blame me. Boo.
Well, it's partly that. Yes, it's your fault for getting booked to speak at a conference as big as South by Southwest. Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah, but just
we'll
remember,
run with that.
Remember, folks, that the talk I'll be giving at HauNTcon
Yes.
is proof that I am worthy of these national tours. That's the pitch I'm going to give.
Okay.
It's totally horse crap, but it's
Yeah, it's a pretty weak pitch. Got to tell you.
it's a weak pitch. All right, okay, fair enough. So when is HauNTcon, Crystal?
It is January 28th through February 1st.
Well, technically the 27th, but the 27th and 28th are that weird 2-day haunt tour
Yeah.
where you hit up like 15 different attractions and
Yeah, it's a drive yourself part of it.
it is. I thought you went on a bus.
Some of it, it's optional.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is a 15 thing drive yourself,
Yeah.
but there's also the ones that go on the bus.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, they have a 2-day haunt tour event, which actually looks pretty awesome, but we will not be participating in.
Yeah.
So actual HauNTcon begins the evening of the 28th with a tour that we will be going on, and then the real festivities begin the 29th. It'll be the 29th, 30th, and the 31st,
Right.
with some all-day workshops on the 1st.
Correct.
And it is at the Sheraton Birmingham in...
Birmingham, Alabama.
Well, that blew my mind. They named that hotel very well, I must admit.
Yeah. Well, Birmingham. I'm sure there are more Birminghams than in Alabama.
And I'm sure there are. I know there's one in England.
Yes.
But I don't know about others in the United States. But yes, the Sheraton Birmingham in Birmingham, Alabama. Rooms and tickets still available as of this recording. and we are recording this one day before posting, so
Yeah.
most likely still available. Some of the tours and some of the workshops are selling out. So.
Right. Some of the tours with transportation, we should say, have sold out.
If you have a rental car or your own transportation, and some of the workshops are still selling out.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have your own transportation, you may still be able to get in on some of the tours. And honestly, the way the tours are priced, it might behoove you to get a rental car.
Right.
Just throwing that idea out.
Yeah.
Especially if you have a lot of people.
Yeah.
It might actually work to your favor. Do the math on your own time. I'm not going to do it for you. So, we wanted to dedicate part of this show, at least, to HauNTcon itself and sort of going over because we're going.
Yes.
We will be going. We're making the drive. It's from New Orleans to Birmingham. It's a 5-hour drive for us.
Yes.
So, we will have our transportation.
Yes, and if you know what we look like from Garbage Horror, be sure to stop by and say hi.
Yes, and we will be passing out business cards. We just got our lovely Haunt Weekly business cards in today.
Yes, they look good.
I would show you, but it's an audio podcast. You'll have to come to Haunt Weekly to get one.
Yes, or you could just put a picture in the note.
Shh, don't ruin this for me.
For them to actually get it, they would still have to talk to us.
Yes, to get a Haunt Weekly card, please do come up to us and approach us at HauNTcon. We would love to see you.
Yes.
And seriously, though, we are looking forward to it. And the main thing
we did go last year. So we do know a little bit of what we're getting into.
And I've got to say, I had a really good time last year.
Yeah.
I had things, and this is true of like every I go to a lot of conferences. You're going to be hard-pressed to find people that go to conferences more often than me.
Right.
You got to get to like salespeople and things like that. I speak at least a couple of events every year.
Yes.
And this year's no exception. I'm already booked for 2 and before the end of March.
Yeah.
Go team. But yeah, there are things I would change about HauNTcon, but it's still a great conference.
Right.
Because really what makes a conference is not the organization, it's not the venue, it's the people you meet when you get there. And I'll be damned, HauNTcon, you meet some great people.
You do. I mean, it's a way to meet the local haunt community and people that you would never have a chance to meet otherwise. We've met a lot of people and still keep in touch with them.
Yeah.
Last year, when it was held in Baton Rouge, which is, just a hop and a skip for us.
Yeah, and that's the reason we kind of went last year. I mean, money was tight, but we went because it was literally in Baton Rouge. We didn't need to pay for a hotel or anything. We just literally got up early and drove.
Yes. And
really had a great time with it. But yeah, it's an amazing event, organized very, very well overall, with some great classes. And if you can go at all, please do consider going.
So speaking of classes, what's yours about?
Oh yes, and that's one of the things I should probably do my little disclaimer on is that I will be speaking at HauNTcon.
Right.
And my talk will be on copyright and trademark in the haunted attraction industry.
Right. So this is going to cover things like, can I use licensed movie characters?
No.
Aw.
I'm sorry, no.
What about logos?
No.
Darn.
No. Just whatever you're about to ask, the answer is no.
Well, that was a really quick talk.
Yeah, no, it's over. Sorry, moving on to the next chat. No, but it's going to be actually the main goal of my talk will be to provide a primer to copyright and trademark as it is relevant to this industry, and it's actually, I think, very, very relevant in many ways, and a lot of people underestimate just how relevant it is.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Well, in general, copyright's underrated.
And trademark, too, I think, honestly. And especially in this industry. I mean, and one of the things I'm going to talk about is how many chambers of horrors are there in the United States? The answer is a lot.
Yeah.
I haven't done the count yet, but I know from experience it's a lot. And it's not knocking any of the attractions named Chamber of Horrors, but we need to have a trademark conversation about the fact there are so many haunts with the same name, for example.
Right.
And why that may or may not be okay. So it's going to be I think it's going to be a great talk. I'm looking forward to it. I've already prepared and sent off the talk notes.
Yeah.
So if you do come by the talk, there will be a neat little handout you can take with you and carry with you and have a bastion of copyright and basic copyright and trademark knowledge that you will be able to take with you and use, and hopefully will keep you and your haunt safe and protected.
Yeah.
Now,
sounds good.
So obviously I endorse my talk.
Yes.
I would be stupid not to.
Yes. It would be pretty dumb of you not to show up for that.
Copyright and trademarks in the for haunted houses is at HAuNTcon. It's actually one of the second talks. It's in that it's in the business track. It's the second talk in the business track.
Right.
So it is one of the it's going to be one early on the 28th. So you're going to have to get there, guys. You're going to have to get there and show up. It's not the first session. You can sleep through those and still make it. I don't encourage you to sleep through the first sessions. But definitely come by the second one and see me. I would love to have you.
Right.
Now, that brings us to the actual schedule.
Yes.
And I've got to be kind of honest here. I can't read the schedule particularly well.
Right. The schedule at a glance is not working well for us.
No.
Maybe we've tried multiple devices and computers, and it just doesn't work.
We can read some of the titles, we can read some of the information, but it's just, we can't make it big enough on our computers to read it.
However, if you do go to the individual courses under events, you can see the different tracks and the schedule there. Yeah. It's just not an at-a-glance kind of layout.
Exactly. But the key thing to know about HAuNTcon is that during the 3 days of the main schooling, there are 4 tracks.
Yes.
Your first track is the hands-on workshops. These are longer sessions and they have an extra fee, and the idea is you're going to build something in this time.
Right, and some of them, I believe, are multiple days.
Yeah. Some of them are spread out, like you'll do part 1 one day, and then then spend like 2 hours there, then go back for part 2.
Right.
Some pretty cool stuff, but do bear in mind there are extra fees if you choose to participate in those.
Right. For materials.
Materials and, anything else you might need to pick up. Then there's the business track, which is moi's favorite.
Yes.
Not just because I'm in the business track, but because I really do love a lot of the businessy type of talks.
Right, and that's something that, we both look at and say, ooh, that's very useful. Yeah. I need to know that.
Yeah, and we one of us at least tends to be in almost every business track course. We alternate who's in there, but it's typically one of us will be there.
Right.
So if you crash one of the business track courses, look around. One of us is probably in there.
Right.
Then there's the creative track,
which is probably more me.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit more of the creative type as far as putting the haunt together and the decorations and
that's stuff like lighting courses are in there.
Right.
Some basic design courses are also in there. Some storytelling courses.
Right.
Really, it's kind of a 360 on the things you need to create to make a haunted attraction.
Right.
Really, really cool track. And also, they're all cool tracks, really.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm trying to designate one as the cool track. They're all cool. But no, you have the demonstration track, which is typically, these are 1 hour workshops, but instead of you building along with something, someone is on stage demonstrating the techniques.
Right. Last year I went to talked about that demonstrated how to age a scene.
Yes.
How to make wallpaper look like it was old, and rust on pipes, and just a lot of good tips for upping that kind of game.
Yeah. And there is going to be a lot of neat stuff there. I have no doubt about that. I'm really excited about the demonstration track this year.
Yeah.
Real quick, we wanted to highlight some of the talks other than mine.
Yes.
Copyright and trademark for haunters. Come by, please. We'd love to have you. But some of the other talks that we are interested in just from looking at the schedule.
Right.
One I singled out immediately, I think it's one in that first session, I think it's the one right before mine actually, is tips for a powerful website. I'm probably going to be going to that, not just because I'm lazy and don't wish to switch rooms before my talk, but also because I am silly interested in that topic.
Right, it's something we've already talked about here.
Yes, it's something
so it ties in well.
We've talked about it here, and it's one of the things that we both do in our non-haunt lives.
Yeah.
So I think there might be stuff in there that we can expand and bring into our other projects.
Right, and the other thing is that they might know of some companies and things specifically for haunt design, and tools that we're not aware of.
Yeah, exactly. So
you can
really,
never learn too much.
No, you
basically.
cannot. I mean, and here's the thing: both of us have been building websites for at least as long as we've been haunting.
Right.
That does not, just like with haunting,
Longer.
does not mean we know everything in that field.
No,
so,
not at all.
Always open to learn cool new stuff. That's why you go to HAuNTcon.
Right.
I'm also excited about the opening a first-time haunt.
Right. That's something that we're both excited about.
Yeah.
I'll be reading your notes because I'm sure that you'll be going to that one.
We don't know that 100%.
We haven't done the
you go to this, I'll go to that, and we haven't done that yet. So we don't know which of us will be in what course. Yeah, but one of us will be in this one, definitely.
Yes. But as two people who have been running a free home haunt for 10 years now, this is something we're very interested in and looking at doing.
Yeah.
So.
Another haunt. I think I went to a talk by Leonard Pickle in this last year. But it's a concept that still fascinates me, and I got some more questions I want to ask.
Yeah, I think I actually went to this one last year, and it's haunt design using triangular grid. We also, whenever the magazine used to come out.
Yeah, Haunt, for Pete's sake, I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I know.
Haunted Attraction Magazine, that's
Haunted Attraction Magazine.
We can't remember because it's too damned obvious.
Yeah. Whenever that came out, we read about it there years ago.
Yeah, God, I think we were just starting out.
Yeah.
We were only a few years into it at that point.
Yeah.
Haunted Attraction Magazine did a thing on it. I've seen other write-ups about it too, but yeah.
Right.
And we actually mentioned briefly in our haunt design podcast.
Right.
And the reason I'm curious about it is, though we've read about it, studied it, and looked at it for years, we've never implemented it.
Yeah.
And I'm still seriously curious about it because, the triangular grid system, it's got its advantages, it's got its disadvantages.
Right.
But I've never implemented it, so I'm not familiar with it, and I want to learn about it.
Yeah, we've tried to do some designs for that, but it's just not worked with our space very well.
It doesn't work with our space, and it doesn't work with the way we build panels.
Right.
The triangular grid really is centered on you building very thin panels.
Right.
Where our style of panel building is is not very thick. It's not like we're building it insanely thick, but thicker than is ideal for the system.
Right. Exactly. And next on our list of interesting ones is something that's going to be coming up a lot, I think, because these are beginning to get really popular, and that's starting your own room escape.
Yeah, we did the room escape at 13th Gate. One of them. They do multiple.
Right.
We did one of them. And we're definitely going to try out some others.
Yes.
Dear God, as soon as money and time line up, we're going to try out some others.
Yeah.
I can't wait. In fact, we're already talking this summer, trying out the ones here at the mortuary. And a few other
there's another one in the French Quarter, and
it's just a room escape. It's not a
right. And a bunch of our friends want to do that one with us.
Yeah. So when we get the people, the money, and the time, all we got to do is get all that lined up.
Yeah. It's about 16 different schedules.
Herd them cats, and then we're gonna go and we're gonna do these other room escapes.
Yeah.
So that will be happening. I'm silly curious about that because I know about building haunts. I know squat about building room escapes.
Right.
So that's going to be good. I'm also interested in this one here. Lessons learned in opening a haunt. That goes back with the one we did just above about opening your first time haunt.
Right.
Because I always love it when people talk about the stuff they learned and got wrong.
Yeah.
The stuff, don't screw this up type talks. I love those.
Yeah, and I hope that this one contains a lot of that. As well as some tips on how to be successful.
I agree. One you put in the list.
Yes. Those pesky inspectors.
Arrgh.
Code compliance in your attraction. Right now, with our haunt being the way it is, we don't have as much to do with the inspectors.
Well, yeah, and
because we've researched the code in New Orleans, and New Orleans, it's pretty lenient for private party events.
Now, that's not to say we don't try our damnedest to build a code.
Oh, no, we do. Because we have
our 36-inch hallways. We have our solid walls.
Right.
We have our fire-resistant props. We have our hose and we try.
Yes.
But
There's always more to learn.
There's more to learn there.
Yeah.
Another one you put down on this list.
Character development and evolution. How to get your actors to the next level. Because while we have a lot of great actors who are just naturals, you know, every year it seems like, or every couple of years, we pick up a few new actors. Mm-hmm. And some of them, you know, it's what we were talking about recently. You need to guide them and teach them. Yeah. And this will, I'm hoping to learn some tips to do that.
We are a very character-driven haunt.
Yes.
Bernie Baxter is the name of the lead character.
Right.
We have killers that we pitch every year as the lead villain. We have, you know, we're a very character-driven haunt, so character development is very core to our philosophy. Always more to learn there.
Right.
This one is interesting. You mentioned this one. Ramping up your entertainment with queue line and sliding actors. Now, we've seen the sliding actors.
Right. We saw that at the Darkness, and he was great.
Oh.
It was by far the highlight of the night.
Yeah, if you want to learn how to do front of house right, the Darkness in St. Louis, I think, is a great place to start.
Right.
They really do an amazing job. They have some great actors, amazing personality, and just tons of energy out there. And frankly, they were so damned good, it almost made some of the inside a little disappointing because it felt so low energy by comparison.
Right, I'll agree with that. I'm hoping that this one
it's not really knocking the inside of the haunt, it's just saying the outside was so good.
Yeah, shows me some of the techniques to build some of those sliding actor rigs.
Yeah, so. I am curious about what you come up with in that one. Fire resistance and your haunt, keeping real horror at bay. I love that title.
Yeah, that's a very good title.
Why didn't I come up with a title that good?
Yeah, yours is you know,
on point, but
yeah, it's kind of obvious.
Well, you know, but then again, it kind of should be in a way.
It should be. But basically, it's just tips about, you know, fireproofing your haunt.
Yeah, and making sure it doesn't burn down.
Yeah, because we are, you know, safety first.
Absolutely, and that's always a good topic to cover.
Yep. Quick and easy makeup techniques and beginner's guide to prop building basics on a budget, because we're always on a budget.
Well, every haunt is on a budget, whether they admit it or not. Now I think you did one of these prop building on a budget things last year.
I did, and I learned some neat tricks. That's how I learned how to make the heads using foam.
Yeah. So you did one last year. You came away with some great useful knowledge.
Right. This is by different people, so they'll have different tips for me.
Yeah. And always the quick and easy makeup tips are... The quick part is what's most important. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah, especially on opening night, because I'm usually running around at, you know, hurricane pace, trying to nail down all the last little details, and barely have time to get in costume myself, much less get everybody else ready.
And realistically, with makeup, every haunter knows that there's no time to do the super, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unless you have that actor that's willing to show up hours early.
Well, yeah, and a lot of the really big professional haunts do that. They require their actors to show up in time for, you know, hour-long makeup sessions. But if you're a smaller haunt, you can't reliably do that.
If you have 40 actors, an hour-long makeup session still only gives you a minute and a half or so with each actor.
Right.
So...
Well, depending on how many makeup artists you have.
The point remains that even if you have like 3 makeup artists, you're still only getting minutes with each person.
Right.
So it's always got to be quick.
Always looking for a new angle.
Always looking for a new angle. Always looking to speed that up.
Right.
So let's talk about other things going on in HauNTcon.
Okay.
Those are some of the talks we're looking to join. And by the way, we do not know who is giving those talks.
Yeah, I've read names, but I don't know them personally.
Yeah, there was no name, at least immediately, I recognized. And I know, for example, I'm probably going to make an effort, because, you know, I've made some contacts since I announced I was going to be speaking at HauNTcon. Haunted Farms of America has gotten in touch with me.
Right.
And I'm really excited about making contact with them. I know their people have a couple of talks.
Right.
I'm going to try to make at least one or two of them.
Right.
So, yeah, that will be taking place too. But that's just it. Until I get the physical schedule in my hand, until you and I sort out who's going to be where when.
Yeah.
We don't know which. These are the talks we're like thinking about right now.
Yeah.
Not saying definitely we'll be at every single one is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they could change.
Stuff may come up. And that's both business, personal, and other issues.
Okay.
There are haunt tours also taking place.
Yes.
Now, before the events really kick off, there is a 2-day pre-show tour of 15 different attractions in the region.
Correct.
That looks really awesome. I will not be participating in that.
Yeah, unfortunately I have to work, so we won't be able to get there early enough.
It's also fairly expensive for our purposes. And it looks really awesome. It looks really cool. I think they filled it up. But it's not something we'll be participating. But on Thursday night, we will be going on the tour of the Insanitarium. Insanitarium. Actually, Sanitarium, if you're doing the Metallica reference. But I tried. It was strained. I apologize to Metallica. But yes, we will be going on that tour. That'll be right as we arrive at the conference. We will be checking in and doing that.
Yes.
Also, on Saturday night, they'll be going to Warehouse 31. And then on Sunday night, they'll be going to Nightmare 3008 or 3008, depending upon how the logo is. They have a couple of different logos.
Okay.
And some of them makes it look like it's 3008.
That's a strange number. I wonder where they came up with that.
I'm really curious. That number does build curiosity, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's like, I know, it's like, what was that movie? What was it? It was, oh shoot, it was a hotel number that added up to 13.
Oh.
Like 1408 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember. But, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I watched that.
Yeah, we watched it together. It's like, oh, yeah, the numbers add up to 13. I get it. You're funny. You're clever.
Yeah.
The movie was not particularly clever, but the title was clever. The movie wasn't that bad.
No.
Yeah, but it was, 1408 was the title of the movie. Okay, I just looked it up. It was 1408. It was released in 2007. Holy crap, you actually type in 1408, you get it. And apparently it's a short story first. Interesting. A short story by Stephen King. Interesting. I did not know that. I'm learning stuff here. But it's not like that where it adds up to
Learning
13.
live on recording.
But it's not like it adds up. It adds up to 11.
Right.
So I'm very curious about the numbers. So like Warehouse 31, I get. That's 13 backwards. Woo, spooky. I get that. That's easy.
Yeah.
But no, I am really curious to join Insanitarium. We may, depending upon how time and money and other things time out, do the other haunt tours, at least one of them.
Right.
We're calling that a game time decision right now.
Yeah.
Because, finances are tight. We're trying to get, we're getting to Birmingham. We've got all that part figured out, but what all we're going to be able to do when we get there is up in the air. But those are pretty awesome. The tours there, if you have your own transportation, you stand to save a modest amount of money.
Yeah, I would say so. Just check the prices for yourself.
Check the prices for yourself, but if you have your own transportation, you can do these tours cheaper, and also they won't sell out. They sell out the transportation, but not the tour.
Right.
So, honestly, once again, it may make sense to have a rental car, or if you're in the region, to drive.
Yes.
Make those decisions for yourself. Now,
something you're going to be able to go to
is the costume ball, which is Friday night.
Yes.
We did not go to the costume ball last year.
No, we peeked in a little bit.
It was interesting. I mean,
yeah.
The thing about it is, I'm not like AC/DC. I don't like the biggest balls of them all.
Okay. Anyway.
I'm not, I'm not a big ball guy in general, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're not a big party animal.
I'm not a big party animal, so the ball never really held much appeal to me, and it could, for all I know, it could have been the biggest, swingingest, most awesome ball in history. Right. I wouldn't be the guy to judge it.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yawn. But, so yeah, I will probably be attending that.
Right, and And the thing is that you go there to look at the costumes.
Yeah, and my costume will be the Bernie Baxter costume.
Right.
I'll be bringing the mask and the vest and everything else for it.
Yeah.
It's not a particularly detailed or intricate costume, but I'm still... I'll be happy to be in Bernie a little bit in January.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of the weird thing. It's like, for me and the Bernie character, it's like I have 1.5 months of the year, or 2 months out of the year, where I am obsessed over the Bernie character.
Yeah.
And then it's like the other 10 months, it's like, oh yeah, he exists.
Yeah.
So, it will be a cool, fun thing to be in Bernie character a little bit in January if I'm able to go. There are, on the last day, the 1st, a series of all-day workshops. All of these require an extra fee if you choose to attend.
Yes.
But they include a special effects makeup workshop.
Yes, which would be cool.
That would be cool.
Also an airbrushing monsters.
Which I'm actually intrigued about because I have friends who do airbrushing as an art.
Right, and I have an airbrushing kit, and I would love to learn more about it.
We've never done much with it.
Yeah.
In fact, you were gifted an airbrushing kit by one of my friends, right?
No, by my brother.
Okay, by your
Christmas.
brother? Okay. But anyways, we have a kit for airbrushing. We've never done much with it.
Yeah, I played with it a little bit and then decided I needed to learn more and then just haven't.
Yeah, and so that would be an opportunity to do so if we chose to do it. Opening your first haunted attraction, that's one by Leonard Pickle. He does that one every year.
Right, and I believe that involves also helping you make a business plan for your first haunted house.
He is very clear. He does not help you find funding for it.
Right.
Because he has no clue, is what he said. I have no idea where you're going to find your startup funds.
Right.
That is your job. But like business plan, ideas, dealing with code compliance, stuff like that, he helps with in this talk. And you can get through a lot in the 6 to 8 hours, I think that talk is. I'm trying to remember how long it is, but it's a mammoth talk.
Right.
And then finally is 3D foam sculpting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's an interesting topic.
Yep, and I believe that one actually comes, they gift you as part of the price for admission, a heating tool to cut the foam.
A heating tool, I think it's one of the wire heating.
It's a wire filament,
knife. And they give you the hot knife. They give you some basic attachments for it.
Right, and show you how to use it.
Obviously, I'd be very pissed off if I went to this and they didn't show me how. Here's your tool. Bye.
My finger.
Exactly. I would really hope that. So yeah, that's HauNtcon in a 25-ish minute nutshell there.
Yeah.
I know we've been talking about HauNtcon for a while, but it really is the big news this month is HauNtcon is going down.
Okay, so...
And I'm sure we'll do something similar for Trans World, even though we will not be going. And that talk will be kind of sad. We'll be like, well, if we were going...
Yeah, we might do a short wrap-up or daily wrap-up or something.
We might do an entire episode based on what we learned at HauNtcon and some exciting stuff. I think that'd be a really good follow-up.
Right.
One thing we did not mention is the trade show floor.
Yes, and garage sale.
Yes.
Haunted garage sale.
Yeah, we actually bought stuff at the garage sale last year. Broke-ass us. We bought stuff.
Yeah. In fact, we bought an archway for our kids' area, which is out front. And we bought
I'm really happy with that, by the way. Thank you, people that sold that to us.
Yes. A poster of Alice Cooper and Jason that we gave to my dad for Christmas.
Yeah, that went over super duper well.
Yes.
Definitely recommend checking out both of those things. And I don't know, I mean, this is me personally talking here. I don't know if just getting the trade show floor pass makes sense.
Right.
Because it's a nice trade show floor, but I would much rather have the education and the time mingling is where it's at.
It is, and a lot of, I found that at least, well, maybe not a lot, but some of the trade show people actually do the talks.
Yes.
And show how to use their product. And so that's very informative too.
Yeah, like the Scent people were there last year, and Foggy's Fog was there. I think they're sponsoring it this year.
And there was a blood splatter demonstration.
Yes, and
like millions of different types of blood.
In fact, I think that was the guy that shot me.
Yes. Yes, you were shot.
I was shot in the head. It was quite brutal.
Yes.
But yet I am here to tell the tale. What does that tell you about me?
You're haunted.
Ooh.
You're a ghost.
Yes, I am. We should have known that. But yeah, I think the trade show floor is definitely worth checking out. And the thing is this, if you do the education, and like I said, you think you should at least do that.
Yeah.
There's a break in the center of each day that's like way too big just to be lunch.
Yeah.
So you can check out the trade show floor, then have plenty of time. No worries.
Right. The other thing that I just remembered we bought was there was actually a weapons prop store that was doing a clearance sale of some of the props they weren't using anymore, and these were well-made,
high quality rubber.
Props. Yeah, these are very realistic.
The type of props that that are designed to be smacked against the wall.
Yeah, and not break or damage.
Yeah, exactly. So
anything.
We got a steal on that, and I feel really good about our purchase there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's all for HauNtcon.
Yes.
So would you like to talk about some actual flipping news?
Other news!
Other news! Yes,
all
this is not just HauNtcon. Now, this next story really, really interested in me. Because, I am a copyright and legal dude, so law stories obviously hold a lot of appeal to me.
Right.
Hartford, Connecticut. Mm-hmm. The Greater Hartford Classical Magnet School. That's a mouthful and a quarter.
Why are we talking about a school?
Well, apparently, in 2012, they held a haunted house to sponsor some senior class events. And according to the article, they didn't make a lot of money doing it.
Well, we've been to some local high school
the Bell Chase
haunted houses.
Yeah.
Exactly. The Bell Chase band did a haunted house in order to foster their trip to nationals or something.
Yeah, Disney, something, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It was at Disney.
We really don't care why they're having the haunted house. We care, haunted house!
Yes, exactly.
That's us. They held a haunted house. Apparently, though, a girl was 14 at the time this happened. Apparently, they used a bathroom as part of the haunt. I'm unclear on how this went down.
Right.
But they used a bathroom. She was backed into a corner by the actors, who were apparently, by some description, being overly aggressive, some description just being in character.
Right.
Backed her into a corner. She slipped. She fell. She broke her wrist.
Yes, I've done that before. Broken wrist.
Yes, you have. And she sued the school.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting here is that schools are typically, at least in Connecticut, I don't know about elsewhere, I don't know if this is a state thing or a national thing, but they're typically immune to these types of lawsuits as long as the injury was sustained during the course of school-related activities.
Right.
And so the question for the school was this haunted house part of school-related and part of their educational mission, basically?
Right.
The judge ruled, yes, it was.
Right, and this also ties in with the other story that we talked about where haunted houses, if you get scared and hurt yourself in a haunted house, and it wasn't anything,
insanely reckless.
Yeah, reckless on the part of the haunt, then, it's pretty much on you.
Yeah. And that seems to be the way the legal tide is turning.
Right.
Which is interesting because we had a whole period of time there where everyone was so scared after a couple of nasty fire. I think it was just one actual fire that broke out in a haunt, and people got hurt, and a couple other injuries. I know there was one here locally that ruffles some feathers.
Right.
But it seems like courts are waking up to this idea that by going into a haunted attraction, you are consenting to being scared, and you are taking a reasonable level of risk with you.
Right, and it's interesting that a haunted attraction can be considered a school.
Yeah.
As long as the school's putting it on as school-related activities.
The judge was really unequivocal in this ruling. He came down very hard and said, basically, this was part of the educational mission. They were furthering the funding of other educational and learning tasks. It's totally within the right of the school. Blah, blah, blah. Really came down on the side of the school here.
Right.
So, very, very interesting story. But yeah, the main focus here is that if you are a school and you do host a haunted house, this ruling should give you some peace of mind in terms of your possible liability from it.
Yes.
Now, this next story I found really amusing because we talk about all kinds of different haunted attractions.
Right.
But there's a site called, and I'm not making this up, I swear to God, I visited the site. It appears as real as anything in this industry.
Yeah.
It's called ScareBNB.
Right. And basically, it's for people who want to stay in haunted houses.
Yeah. if you've ever wanted to spend the night in the haunted attraction or a real, and I can't see the air quotes I'm doing, the real haunted house.
Yes, places where tragic deaths happened and ghosts are said to still roam and paranormal activity.
Jazz. Yeah. If you're into that type of stuff, you just simply pop on over. It is at ScareBNB.com. Now, right now, they're only available for the San Francisco and immediate area.
Right. And, I mean, this kind of confuses me a little bit because, like, in New Orleans and in Charleston, there are places that are known to be haunted where you can rent a room a night. Mm-hmm. And there's just like a hotel or a tourist destination for people who like haunted houses and spooky things.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not that original of a concept to me, except that these are it seems to be people saying that, oh yeah, my house is haunted. Stay with me.
Yeah, and the photos, from what I'm gathering, I mean, it's very confusing. Whether, I mean, like I said, I'm still not 100% sure how real this is.
Right.
Because if you click the request to book, it just automatically basically gives it to you, regardless of whether or not you're signed in or not. So, yeah. But I love this. The amenities of this one I just pulled up include poor lighting, Victorian-era self-portraits, healthy crow population, abundant cobwebs, TV with static channel.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
like
important.
That's important. Yeah, secret basement. Good luck finding it. Abandoned water well. Safety first. Resident psycho, creaky floorboards, and demented children.
Yeah, now, okay, so it would be one thing if this were an overnight haunted attraction. So, like, in the middle of the night, actors and stuff would mess with you.
Oh, that'd be great.
That would be pretty cool. In fact, they're doing things like that, but they're haunted camping trips.
Yeah.
That's something that's new that we've heard about in recent years. But if it was something like that, that would be pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But that's not what it sounds like.
No, if it is real, and like I said, we only just found the story before we went on the air.
Right.
So not a lot of time has been available for us to research this, but it does not seem to be real to me. But the point is, like you said, this is an actual industry, even if the site is not real.
Right.
And frankly, it's only a matter of time until Silicon Valley disrupts this industry anyway. So even if this isn't real, it's not far off. I can pretty much guarantee you.
Yeah.
So the next story is we don't talk a lot politics.
No.
On the show, we avoid them, avoid politics.
Well, they usually don't cross our path with this particular topic.
And that's one of the things I really do love about haunted attractions in general. By the way, and working in them.
Yeah.
Is you're shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, and allied with people that might have very, very different ideologies than you and everything else in your life.
Right.
I know a lot of our...
don't know.
And usually you don't know, but I know from following some of our friends and fellow haunters on Facebook, I couldn't disagree with these people more, but we're haunt family first, and that's what matters.
Right.
And, that's just the way it is, man. So, we don't talk about politics a lot, but this is one story where it did cross our path.
Yes. Okay, so 35 Syrian refugees have asked to be relocated in Sweden because
the 19th century former care home. Apparently they're like in some rural district in Sweden. I don't know Sweden geography, all right?
So where they were relocated to was a 19th century former care home.
Yeah.
And apparently the doors are opening and closing on their own, and the refugees believe it to be haunted.
Now, I'm just going to say this. Syrian refugees are fleeing a flipping war zone.
Right.
They have seen real-life horrors.
Yes.
But this they cannot stand.
Yes.
They need to be moved from this.
Yeah.
I mean, something's got to be going on. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's very interesting when, people who have dealt
with real life horrors.
Real life horrors, and we feel for them deeply.
Oh, absolutely.
We don't want to downplay anything that they're going through, but it is interesting that they are trying to move out of this supposedly haunted house.
Yeah. And I gotta say, I looked at the photos in this article.
Uh-huh.
It's one damn scary looking building, let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know how big haunted attractions are in Sweden. But there needs to be one in that building.
Yeah, internationally overall, I've looked into it before, and it's not a big business outside of the U.S. and a couple of places in Canada.
U.S., Canada seem to have it. UK is getting it.
Yeah.
Australia seems to be getting it too. There's especially on the east coast of Australia. So there are other countries that are developing their taste for this.
Right.
But those are very much burgeoning markets, all of them.
Yeah, and actually, we kind of went to a haunted attraction at HAuNTcon.
No, you're thinking of HAuNTcon. In the UK.
The other.
A1, yeah.
The other.
Wrong country.
Yes, I know.
HAuNTcon was Germany.
Okay, fine. It's been a while since we were there.
Yes, it has been. Yeah, HAuNTcon Castle, which, by the way, is where they filmed the first couple of Harry Potter films.
Right, some of the castle scenes. But no, they do a haunted cellar kind of thing. It was interesting.
Well, it was very bizarre because we went there. We got to spend the whole day at HAuNTcon, and it was. Right. I'm really glad we did.
Yeah.
But we're just roaming around, being tourists and stuff. And this creepy dude just walks up to us.
Uh-huh.
It's like, you want 2 tickets for the haunted cellar thing? And we're like, and of course most people will be like, no, go away, weird dude. Yeah. And we're like, haunted cellar, tell us more!
Yes.
Grabbing him by his lapels.
Yeah. I think he was scared of us.
Yeah, by the end of it, I think he was scared of us. And our enthusiasm, like, these Americans are weird.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, well, I'm sure we'll tell more about that experience later.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that was a lot of fun. We do have some holiday openings to cover.
Yes. Valentine's Day apparently is a fairly big holiday to take your loved ones to.
And I want to say something here. I'm really proud of all the haunts on our list. None of them went with a My Bloody Valentine joke.
Yeah. Well, going back to your copyright and trademark.
Yeah, I know. Bad idea anyway. But I'm very proud of all 3 of these.
Right. There's the Cutting Edge Haunted House in Fort Worth, Texas. Mm-hmm. Will be open the 13th and the 14th.
That's Saturday and Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have Moxley Manor in Bedford, Texas. 2 Texas haunts.
2 Texas ones,
yeah. I just noticed that. Also opening up for Valentine's Day on the 12th and the 13th, the Friday and Saturday. Not actually open V-Day day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I know.
And then we have the Reign of Terror in Thousand Oaks, California. It is for Make-A-Wish Foundation, and they are only open on the 13th of February.
Yeah, they have pretty limited hours, too, if I remember correctly. It's like 7 to 9 or 7 to 10 or something like that. So
right.
if you're interested in it, get there early, I guess, because it's probably going to be pretty popular. And they're not going to be open very long. So, yeah, all these look pretty cool. And I gotta say, I totally approve of the horrification of Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
I'm only remiss that none of the haunts in our area are doing one.
Yeah, not that we know of. Yeah, it would be, that creepy little shy kid in the corner of the classroom that never has a Valentine's Day date. It could be interesting to do a story around that kid.
Yeah, that would be. The Ralph Wiggum of the class.
Oh God, that's scary.
I choose you.
Oh God.
You remember that episode?
I do. Yeah.
That's what we have to do now. We have to do a Valentine's Day man and have the I choose. No, terrible idea for a lot of reasons, but still hilarious to think about and pretend.
Yes.
That's what we're doing here. We're pretending.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm excited about these. Like I said, I totally approve of the horrification of Valentine's thing.
Right.
I'm also, real fast, this headline came up and interested in me.
Right.
The developers behind the BioShock series.
Right, which is a game.
A video game, are making a horror game that's where the protagonist, the person you're playing, is blind.
Yeah, it's very interesting because most video games rely on sight.
Yeah. And
so I'm assuming that the visual budget's going to be nil.
Yeah. Well,
and it's going to be more sound based.
Yeah, what they're doing, there actually are visuals to the game. Yeah. They are basing it on echolocation. Basically, apparently you're playing as Daredevil.
Right.
But it's based on echolocation. So instead, but it's really weird, and you have to actually look at the link, and I'm going to put it in the notes.
Yeah.
But you have to look at the link because where you're used to, even like horror games, have like depth of color and so forth.
Right.
This is almost exclusively white, gray, and black.
Right.
And without a lot of obvious depth to it.
Right.
It's very harsh edges on everything. You can't see depth very easily in it by design.
Right.
And yes, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great sound design and so forth. But yeah, this really struck me as an interesting idea.
It is. It's very interesting. And it's just another way to think about how you can use all of the senses to scare.
We've already decided we're doing doing one of these, an episode on haunted attractions for people with disabilities.
Right, because we actually had somebody comment.
A great comment
on Facebook,
talking about having to scare deaf people.
Right.
And my brother is deaf.
Yes.
So obviously that got me silly excited. That idea. And yeah, so we're going to talk about haunted attractions for people with disabilities, not just hearing impairments, but also, I guess, blindness and people who are not ambulatory.
Right.
People in wheelchairs, crutches, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, and that story was by Scarlett Gary.
Yeah. So
thank you very much. Sorry if I butchered your last name.
Yeah, well, mispronouncing things is our thing here at Haunt Weekly.
Yeah.
We join many other great YouTube and podcast people in that proud tradition of pronouncing nothing correctly.
Yeah.
Sorry if we butchered it. So that is all the news we have. I think we've had a good run of it.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we did. I'm really looking forward to HauNTcon.
Right.
We will be heading up Thursday morning, arriving there in the afternoon, then attending the Thursday evening haunt tour.
Yes.
And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday be doing all the educations.
We're getting our learnings on.
Getting our learnings on, yeah. Woohoo! And then turning back, and I don't think we're doing any of the all-day seminars on Monday. We don't have any planned. I would like to, but I don't think it's going to be possible this year.
Yeah, because I may have to be back at work, actually. So.
Yeah, and that's the other problem for us is we do have day jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
My schedule is super flexible, yours less so, but...
As much as I would love to do nothing but this all the time.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, working on it.
Well, is that all you got this time around?
That's it.
I think this was a mighty fun, fine episode, Crystal. Thank you very much for joining me.
You're welcome very much.
It was mighty enjoyable. I hope our listeners had a mighty good time. I do.
How many times are you going to say mighty? Just
mighty much. Mighty good time.
Is there a mouse around?
I took a bet on how many times I could say the word mighty over the course of the podcast, and I forgot about it until the very end.
Oh, okay.
Anyways. But no, on that note, everyone, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Crystal.
And this was Haunt Weekly, Episode 8 for the news. Mighty, 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 mighty.